Welcome back. We're talking to the group to see what, if anything, new is going on around here. Dietrich had some new things to say and talk to the Dragon Slayer. Got a little movement on that. All right, Iger. I don't really want to talk to you, but maybe we'll get somewhere. Maybe, please. Alice. Any thoughts about the last run? I'm not gonna lie, Alice. This one is gonna stick with me for a while. What they did to that troll was sick. This is probably gonna surprise you, but I'm happy that the Mark 6 is dead. Yeah, Herr Schmidt was pissed, and sure, our reputation got dinged. Neither of those are good things, but I'll take them over being part of what they were doing to that troll any day. Walking out of a run with a clean conscience is a rare pleasure. Savor it while you can. Do you trust me, Iger? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally, she nods. Yeah, I do. You've earned that much. I haven't always agreed with your decisions, Alice, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. Then tell me what happened to your team. This again. Why do you even care, Alice? Because it's pretty clear that if you had your way, you'd still be with them, and a good leader places a priority on knowing her team. She slowly nods. All right, I'll tell you. I suppose you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie, the kid of some big money corporate exec. He looks good on paper, and he made it through KSK training, so he was technically qualified to join a team. But he was way too green to fit in with ours. Still, he wanted to be a hero, and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman's daddy had to pull to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman became our 9th squad mate, despite Metzger's objections. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks, we were closing in on one of the Russian mob's major trafficking operations. They'd been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for their convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. When the convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers and hauled across the border into Germany. Go to any brothel along the border and have a look around. Chances are you'll find at least a few girls who spent some time in those warehouses. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob has been smuggling them over for decades. But we were in a position to derail their operation, and we weren't going to let our new addition slow us down. We hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fisher and Braun managed to take down the Banshee that they had patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead, providing battletech feeds to the rest of us, and we picked off their gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, and we had cover and concealment. Every time they thought they had a fix on us, we'd shift positions and hit them again. They might as well have been fighting ghosts. Then Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position. And after that, all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me for the rest of my days. An explosion, a choked scream, and this long, drawn-out gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I'll spare you the gory details, Alice. Suffice it to say that my team was wiped out. Iger's face clouds again. You can see the tears beginning to well in her eyes. I watched Metzger die. With visible effort, she clamps down on her emotions and calms herself. When she speaks again, her voice is flat. I took 3 rounds myself. Had to drag myself back across the Oder-Nisse line into Germany. I almost died. So that's the story. My KSK career died with the rest of the team. Our mission was illegal, after all. Off the books. There was no going back for me, so I wound up here. She looks you in the eye. Her tone is impassive. Did that tell you everything you wanted to know, fearless leader? Are you satisfied now? Yes, thank you, Iger. So, tell me, what's your takeaway from my tale of woe? I figured that you've got to have one. Well, without even reading the options, listen. I am sure that that is truly terrible, and living with that trauma is hell. I don't think it's good writing. Compared to all of the other characters who I think have been much better fleshed out and have more nuanced stories, from a storytelling and writing perspective only, just saying my team got wiped out and the people I cared about were lost is, at the very least, it's not an excuse to just write a character who's an asshole all the time. If you want to write a character who's hard because she has to be hard, because she doesn't think she can be any other way, then you have to write a little bit of give into the character so that you have something to play with. My complaints from the very beginning of the game were related to the fact that, like, she just seems to be incredibly one note. She's, I don't like you. I don't like change. I don't like that Monica died. And that's all fair, but it doesn't give me anything to work with. If you're trying to develop a relationship between a player character and an NPC, then there has to be a level of nuance. And I don't like you and I don't want to tell you about my feelings or anything else is, while not an unrealistic character, that's a realistic character to potentially write. It's not very compelling or interesting to engage with. It's part of the well, there's the mechanical reasons why I don't take Iger with me, but it also is like makes me kind of resent her presence and not really want to talk to her, because it's just like talking at a stone wall. And I don't know, I'm not that engaged in her story. It doesn't matter what I think. What you think and how you act on it is what's important. She pauses to consider. Normally I'd call that a cop-out answer, but I guess there's some truth to it. In any case, you don't need to worry about me, fearless leader. My baggage isn't going to hurt my job performance or anything. You might be thinking that I judged you too harshly in the beginning because of Hoffman. You'd be right on that count. I probably did. But everything else you said after Monica died was justified, whether you want to believe... But everything else I said after Monica died was justified, whether you want to believe it or not. No, you were an unreasonable dick. Like, you're allowed to voice your skepticism, by all accounts, and you're allowed to critique my decisions, but you were just nasty on multiple occasions. Giving you command of this team was a hasty decision made for the wrong reasons. I stand by that assessment. But between then and now, I've been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Alice. You weren't the right choice to lead before. I still believe that, but you are now. Yeah, that's not objective. That's entirely subjective and entirely personal. What a terrible argument. All right, let's talk to Glory, who I like better. Glory favors you with a weak smile, her expression cautious. You're suddenly aware of how very small she is. Hoy, Alice and Marta. I've got to admit, I've been dreading this. So, now that you know what I've done, what I am, are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if you were. No, Glory, I'm not here to tell you off. Truth be told, I wanted to check in and see how you were doing. Not great. Struggling. About how you'd expect. Any thoughts about the last run? A tinge of red crawls up Glory's neck. Alice, look at me. She extends her sculpted metal arms. Chrome glints in the flickering light. I'm not far from being what that poor troll was. When I think of what they did to him, she looks you in the eye. Her expression remains neutral, but that slight blush has spread from her neck to her cheeks. It wasn't right, and you did the only thing that you could to make it better. You knew that it would cost you, and you did it anyway, because it was right. I won't forget that, Alice. Not ever. We left off in a bad place last time. I've been thinking about your story, and I have a question for you. Yeah? What's that? Yeah, it's all flavors of mostly the same thing. You've escaped from Harrow, but he's still out there. If you're looking to atone for your past, don't you think that shutting him down would be a good place to start? She holds her silence for a long time. Finally, she nods. Yes. I've been thinking about this for a long time, Alice. Every time that I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and run away. Run away again. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing, but I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. I'm glad we're on the same page. Alright, if we're going to do this, we need to be clear on what our goal is. There's a lot of innocent people in that place. Lost street kids who got sucked in by Marta and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But then there's also Harrow to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it. And if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might get away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else where we can't find him. And all of this will have been for nothing. We're likely to run into other complications as well, so I think we need to make a decision here up front. What would you do in my place? Rescue the kids or take down Harrow? I don't think we can manage both. I think I'm not even really hesitating. My hesitation is just like thinking about why it wants me to pick one of the two. But I think the answer is obvious. Like, if the kids are messed up, I mean, there's only so much we can do. We don't know the status of their whole fucked up organization, and if what we understand is true, then killing Harrow, destroying the source of all of this, is the priority. So I think the answer is pretty obvious to me. We wipe out the cult, starting with Harrow. As long as he's alive, he can just start all of this over again. We'll save any cultists that we can, but the ones that are too far gone will have to be put down. Harrow needs to die, and I don't want any other kids hurt or killed, but Harrow, that bastard has to pay for what he did to me. She stops, as if suddenly unsure of herself. A moment later, a newfound confidence seems to seize her. She looks to you, and there's fire in her eyes. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. He needs to die. You're damn right he does. Meet me at the van when you're ready to go. It's a long drive from here to Schoenbusch. She nods. I'll see you there. Alright, so we've got a new side quest, I guess. So it seems like each of the characters has a side quest to do. So now we've done Blitz's, and we did Dietrich's, right? We got Blitz out of his money troubles, and we dealt with the Dietrich's nephew and the whole racist cult thing. So I guess it's Glory's turn now. I don't know if they'd always would trigger in this order, but yeah, interesting. Okay, let's talk to Blitz real quick. I don't think he's going to have a huge amount to say here, but let's see. At the sound of your approach, Blitz stubs out his cigarette. He gives you a curt nod. Alice, I'd offer you a smoke, but that was my last one. How'd that whole Emily situation work out? Turn up anything new? Yeah, well, sort of. It's mostly speculation, truth be told. Well, get on with it. After our talk, I went wading into all of the Aztechnology Matrix hubs that I could find. Nothing too deep. Don't worry. I didn't want to set off any alarm bells, but I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that might lead me to Emily. And sure enough, I did. A message from the genuine article herself. She messaged you? Sure enough. Sent me a note. Want to hear what it said? He presses forward without waiting for a response. I'll tell you. The note said, and I quote, "Lay off, Blitz. I told you to leave me alone. You've shown admirable self-control over the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can, if I can. Until then, keep away from me for both of our sakes." So I found her, and she wants nothing to do with me. Again. No explanations, no apologies, just a verbal pat on the head. I've shown admirable self-control. Really? She makes it sound like I'm a toddler or something. Yeah, well, sometimes I feel a need to put a leash on you, so... So did you lay off like the message said? Oh, Jesus, Blitz. Hell no. I wasn't going to stand for that. Where does she get off? Stealing from me and then acting like it was my fault. I tried to trace the message like any good Decker would. Yeah, fuck it. You're an idiot, Blitz. Hey, could an idiot turn up another clue in under a day? No, I didn't think so. Just take your insults and choke on them. Fuck you. Alright, I'll bite. What was this other clue? I found a connection between Emily and Saderkrupp. So, do you think that she works for SK then? That she stole encrypted data from you to give to them? Well, maybe. I don't know. It's confusing. I was also able to track down some message fragments connecting her to Schackwellenreiter. So maybe she was a Saderkrupp mole, and she got close to me so that she could, I don't know, so that she could profit from my decking expertise? Maybe when she told me not to steal that data, she was using reverse psychology. That's gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. Really, dude? It sounds to me like you're projecting your own bad decisions onto somebody else. He frowns, then shakes his head. But then again, maybe she's with the Schackwellenreiter, and she's screwing both the Azzies and SK over. If that's the case, then maybe she was with me because she genuinely wanted to be. He pauses for a moment, considering. Then all at once he seems to perk up. His chest puffs out and he nods, once, decisively. In either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a dangerous game, whether she's with SK or the Schackwellenreiter. Maybe she's gotten herself in too deep. She might need help. I mean, why else would she send me such a cryptic message? Yeah, I mean, this one's the obvious one, but this one's the true one. It's up to you, Blitz. At the end of the day, you're gonna do whatever you want to anyway. Yeah. He nods excitedly, as if he caught the dismissive tone of your words, he doesn't show it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is up to me. It's up to me to save the woman I love. Blitz claps his hands, then rubs them together in excitement. Get set, Chief. You're about to witness an event. When my gung-ho personality and legendary skills come together, the whole world stops and takes notice. So it's giving me the option to tell him no. So it gave me two options to say yes, one of them not enthusiastically, and one option to say no, and now it's giving me the option to stop and say no again. I mean, something tells me this isn't going to be catastrophic. I don't think this is going to have anything other than, like, minor narrative consequences. But, again, I'm metagaming too much. I'm sure that it does, Blitz. I can't wait to see how this plays out. You won't have to wait long. I know just the place to hit. That same Aztechnology data node that I stole the information from in the first place. I already know that I can get past the security, and my gut tells me that I'll find Emily there. Thanks for the encouragement, Chief. I knew that this was the right thing to do, of course, but you've helped to quiet my any lingering doubts I might have had. He nods at you, an expression of supreme confidence on his face. And now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a damsel in distress to rescue. You're an idiot. Any thoughts about that last run you'd like to share? His eyes light up in excitement. The Mark VI was an incredible piece of engineering, Chief. Never seen anything like it before. And the fact that it was rigger-enabled, oh man, the potential ramifications of this technology are staggering. It's a pity that we had to kill the thing. I mean, yeah, I get it. It must have been horrible for the troll they installed all that stuff into. But it was a thing of beauty all the same. Talk to you later, Blitz. You fucking psycho. Alright. Next episode, I think we're going to probably follow up on Glory's mission. I feel like that's the thing to do before we go do the OTK heist thing. Anyway, I'll see you guys for that next time.